Thousands of people uprooted their lives and traveled across the globe for the mere chance of instant wealth. In the early 1840s, California was a remote territory under Mexican rule. It supported a small non-native population and was home to many Native American nations with established languages, cultures, and economies. This environment vanished in January 1848. James W. Marshall was working at a sawmill in Coloma when he spotted gold in the water. Initial reports of his discovery were met with skepticism and spread slowly across the region. That skepticism ended in December 1848, when President James K. Polk addressed Congress and publicly confirmed that the reports were real. The presidential announcement validated the local rumors. An unverified secret became a global incentive, drawing thousands toward a massive, unclaimed concentration of wealth on the Pacific coast. This triggered a global migration. Known as 49ers, travelers from Latin America, Europe, China, and the eastern United States abandoned their homes to reach the goldfields. Most faced a months-long overland journey. Wagon trains crossed deserts and mountains, where migrants dealt with disease, exhaustion, and extreme weather. Sea routes were equally hazardous. Travelers spent months sailing around Cape Horn or risked illness crossing the Isthmus of Panama before boarding ships heading north. Thousands of people arrived in California having already spent their life savings on the supplies and transportation required just to reach the mines. Early miners used simple methods like panning, using water to separate heavy gold particles from river sediment. As easily accessible gold vanished, technology escalated. Miners worked in groups to operate rockers and long sluice boxes, requiring significantly more physical labor. Statistical reality rarely matched the dream of instant riches. While the image of the lucky prospector was a powerful cultural draw, most miners earned very little or lost money. The era of the individual prospector ended as easily reached deposits were exhausted, replaced by expensive, industrialized operations capable of moving massive quantities of earth. The romanticized image of the pioneer masked the reality of a corporate and mathematically unforgiving extraction machine. While many miners struggled to break even, others found reliable ways to capture the wealth of the gold rush. San Francisco became the economic gateway to the goldfields. The city transformed into a center for banking and shipping, handling the immense volume of trade required to supply the mines. Entrepreneurs like Samuel Brannan built massive fortunes during this period. Brannan famously promoted the discovery while selling essential tools and supplies at highly inflated prices to arriving miners. The most reliable fortunes belong to those who sold products and services to the people chasing the dream. Mexican and Latin American miners provided crucial expertise to the amateur population, bringing advanced knowledge of mining techniques that predated the American rush. Large numbers of Chinese immigrants arrived seeking economic opportunity. They worked in mining, commerce, and agriculture, becoming a major part of California's developing economy. Women also shaped the migration. By operating hotels, laundries, and stores, they provided the logistical support that turned temporary camps into permanent settlements. As gold supplies dwindled, competition led to severe racial discrimination. Minority miners faced violence and targeted laws designed to exclude them from the wealth of the region. This multicultural convergence drove California's rapid growth, but it embedded systemic inequality into the state's foundation. The mass migration had a catastrophic impact on Native American communities, who faced the rapid and violent loss of their land and resources. Disease, forced labor, and state-sanctioned violence caused a massive population collapse. California's institutions failed to protect indigenous peoples from widespread displacement. The environment also suffered. Industrialized hydraulic mining involved blasting away entire hillsides with pressurized water to reach deeper gold deposits. This process washed tons of soil and rock into the river systems, altering landscapes and polluting ecosystems long after the gold was gone. The rapid creation of California's wealth was built upon the erasure of its indigenous peoples and the destruction of its natural landscape. This chart shows the timeline from 1848 to 1855, tracing the near vertical upward spike in California's non-native population. This surge forced immediate political organization. As a direct result of this growth, California was admitted as the 31st state in 1850. Admitting California as a free state intensified the national conflict over slavery that was dividing the country. The initial rush left behind an industrialized, diversified economy. San Francisco grew from a small settlement into a major commercial center for banking and trade. The gold rush drove a massive, irreversible movement of people and capital that forced the development of the entire American West. Within a decade, the rush of thousands had shifted the power and geography of the nation.